Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the Jaffrey-Rindge Middle School course information. And we know a lot of you are current parents of current fifth graders who will be transitioning into the middle school next year. And that is a very big transition, and we're aware of that. So we're here to help and guide them along as best as we can. And just so you all know, this presentation is recording. And it will be available to watch back on the website either tomorrow or later this week, along with the slideshow presentation. So I'm going to get onto it. Okay, so my name is Amanda Shaw. I am one of the school counselors here. I am also here with Mr. Timothy Robertson.
Hi, I'm Timothy Robertson. I'm one of the other school counselors.
And in our office, we also have Mrs. Rebecca Mormondo, who is our amazing registrar and administrative assistant. She is lovely and helps with whatever we need. So if you've ever called, I'm sure you have spoken to her. And we also have our administrative team. So our administrative team is made up of our principal, Mr. David Dustin. But here with us tonight, we have our two assistant principals. So we have Mrs. Michelle Durand.
Hello, I'm Michelle Duran, and welcome to everybody. I'm one of the assistant principals, and I focus on learning support and safety. Welcome.
And then we have Mrs. Heather Schulman.
Hello, everyone.
All right, so I'm going to first let Mr. Robertson speak, and he's going to talk about what to expect when your learner goes into sixth grade.
Okay, so what to expect in grade 6. So there are 5 academic core courses. So sixth grade English language arts has now been broken down into 2 courses. So the first is reading to live, and the second is true writing. And then in addition to that, students will also have science, social studies, and mathematics classes. Okay, so what to expect in sixth grade when it comes to your unified arts courses. So first there's wellness. So that's the combination of health and physical education. Second, there's world language exploration in both Spanish and French. So students will explore the basic culture and language foundations of both French and Spanish. So going into grade 7, students will select French or Spanish to continue with, during the duration of their middle school experience. Then there is the STEM exploration. So STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So this will kind of lay the foundation for future STEM courses that students will take during middle school and high school. Fourth, there's the art exploration. So kind of the goal of this is to expand students' knowledge of the different art programs offered at the middle school and high school level. So students will kind of focus on learning about drawing, painting, printmaking, 3D art, ceramics, those art forms. And then they have a music class as well. So it might be music exploration, or it might be a band or chorus lab that they might want to take.
Amanda, I see we have a question. Can you go back to the previous slide so we can chat about reading to live?
Yeah.
And true writing. Okay. Through our experiences with getting the 5th graders coming up to the 6th grade, we decided to separate the English language arts piece to the true writing, with a focus on expository writing or the factual piece of writing, essays and whatnot, in addition to practicing the elements of the writing process. Kiddos will be able to practice narrative writing, descriptive writing, persuasive, and all that. And the reading to live is, while it's focused on nonfiction reading strategies, it covers all different kinds of reading strategies to enhance their vocabulary and comprehension and fluency. So I know you probably needed a little bit more information about that. And ELA is my passion, so I thought I would pitch in. But thank you, Tim.
Who better to expand? Oh, no. All right. So now we're going to talk about as students move on to grade 7. And as Mr. Robertson and Mrs. Duran talked about, a lot of what what learners are going to do in grade 6 is very foundational and a lot of exploration of the things that they're going to be learning throughout their middle and their high school years as they begin to reach proficiency and mastery throughout the different courses that they're going to be taking in middle and high school. So as learners go on to grade 7, they do have 4 core courses. ELA is 1 course starting in grade 7, and then they take their grade 7 math as well as science and social studies. And when they get to grade 7 unified arts courses, they do begin to have a little bit more of a choice as they begin to grow a little bit more of that independence, not too much. And so the first one that is really exciting, in addition to growing on the language exploration in grade 6, is that learners will then pick from either French or Spanish. And in the first year in grade 7, learners are going to begin learning the level 1 proficiency skills of their chosen language, as well as continuing to study more about the culture of their chosen language. And they're really going to build that foundation then going into grade 8 and then high school. They still are going to be taking their wellness class, physical education and health. We do have a few different music electives that learners in grade 7 can choose from, which Mr. Robertson's going to be talking about in a few slides, or they can do band or chorus. We also have a couple art classes that they can choose from, which we'll discuss in a few slides, and then as well as family and consumer science, better known as FACS. And FACS, they begin to learn different things about nutrition, cooking, sewing, mending, budgeting, things of that nature. And then the STEM class for grade 7 learners is STEM, design, and modeling. Do you have any questions about grade 7 classes?
I don't see any
right,
questions right now.
We will take questions at the end too. I'm sorry, I should have said that in the beginning.
That's
if you have
okay.
any questions, pop them into the chat, or we will take them at the end. So as learners go into grade 8, again, building on what they've been learning and getting a little bit more independence. So they still will take grade 8 ELA, science and social studies. The biggest difference with grade 8 is that they are placed in either grade 8 math or honors algebra 1. And now I'm going to let Mrs. Schulman talk about the process for math placement in grade 8.
Great. Thank you so much, Ms. Shaw. It's so exciting when our learners go through the middle level years and they develop their strengths, realize the areas of academia that they're really interested in. And for those learners who are mathematically inclined and really want a challenge, we have a fabulous opportunity for in 8th grade them to enroll in a high school level, very rigorous honors algebra 1 course. In order to be eligible for this course, learners must demonstrate proficiency with the 7th grade math skills. In addition, have pretty substantial scores on the standardized test, the NHSAS and our MAPS. And then the third is an algebra readiness test. And this test will be administered to all 7th grade learners unless the parents wish to have their child opt out of it. It'll take place during their math class period. And it is a 1-period test, about 30 questions. And the purpose of the test is to measure the child's reasoning and algebraic thinking, which is going to be really essential in this honors algebra course. Now, if you happen to have a 6th grader who's going into 7th grade who has very strong math interest, math skills, by parent request and teacher request, we will also screen those younger people. We do not hold back our learners when it comes to really academic courses. Any learner in the middle school who demonstrates a real strength in the content area of math specifically, we will put them in the course that's right for them, even at the high school level. Now, if your child is selected to be in this course and you decide that, and the child decides they want to take on this challenge, they will take it either in the location of the 8th grade hallway with the 8th grade math teacher, or possibly in the high school hallway, just down the hall a little bit with one of the high school math teachers. And it is an honors level course, highly rigorous with a lot of higher level thinking, but this will earn them their first credit in high school math, and they'll be on their way to a very strong mathematical foundation.
And I'd like to pitch in, if you've got a sixth grader coming in and you feel as though you'd like he or she being assessed with one or all of these assessments, please email any of us.
Absolutely, thank you.
I don't know if we just want to pause here and see if we have any questions in the chat. I know this is something that might get some questions.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We'll be sending home a letter to all 7th grade parents with the information and the date that this will take place. For those learners who are choosing to be remote, we really want to include you very much. So we'll be setting up a remote special time on a Wednesday when the school building is empty, and we'll have you invite you to come in very safely and in a very large setting with supervision, and you'll be able to take the test at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions, let us know. As always, if you feel that your child didn't perform well in any area that's triangulated here, but you really want to have them have the challenge of the course, you always, as a parent, have the right to do something called a course override and have your child take a chance with this. Thank you.
Is that it for questions so far?
I think so.
Oh, awesome. Okay, moving on. All right, so now to the grade 8 unified arts courses. Again, giving a little bit more of that choice. Learners in grade 8, the wellness has been separated into separate physical education and then health courses. And then they take STEM robotics. Now, when it comes to courses in art and music and facts, 8th grade learners do have a few more choices than, say, the grade 7 learners, which Mr. Robertson's going to go over. There are a few different courses that they can take that also bear CHS credit if they'd like to. And then as far as facts goes, family and consumer science, if they have not taken family and consumer science in grade 7, they can take a class called interior design or making sense by mending, which are high school credited courses. And for the world language, again, since learners have begun learning those level 1 proficiency skills, they then move on to their next level 1 Spanish or French course. And upon completion of this course, they do earn high school credit, which goes on their Cornell High School credit. And then chorus or band learners do have the opportunity to take chorus or band. Okay, so Mr. Robertson is going to talk about the different art and music elective choices for grade 7 and 8.
Okay, so art elective courses for grades 7 and 8. So 3D art or comic book art, those are open to all students in grades in 7 and 8 to take. And then for murals and public art, painting 1, mixed media, ceramics 1, and design, composition, and color theory 1. These are offered to grade 8 students who can take these and receive a half CHS elective credit for successful completion. So we really tried to offer students a wider variety of art offerings. I know with some of the older students that I've met with so far, a lot of them have been really kind of excited about painting, ceramics, mixed media. So we really have a lot of different options for them to kind of explore, different forms of art. Okay, and then I'm also going to just highlight some of the music elective courses for grades 7 and 8. So the first 6 here, from steel drums to ukulele lab, these are all kind of available for students in grades 7 and 8 to take. And then the last 5, from guitar and piano basics to steel drum and percussion, these are open to grade 8 students as well, and they can receive a half CHS elective credit for completing the course. So a couple of our new music offerings are music production, steel drum and percussion. So again, lots of kind of different options for students.
Awesome. Sign me up for ukulele lab. Oh boy.
Yeah. Are there any questions in the chat before we go on?
I don't see any. We've got a pretty silent audience out there.
We're nearing the end, so we'll definitely be taking questions in a few. Okay.
Awesome.
So I know that we've just gone over a lot, and I do want to highlight that what we've gone through is a very brief overview of all the courses. If you have JRMS learners currently, you're probably noticing a lot of things that are new and exciting as far as we're concerned that we're talking about. And that's exactly what we've done. There's a lot of new things coming up, as you know, that we've gone over. So we're really excited about that. So as I said, this was a very brief overview. All of these courses, as well as their descriptions, are available in the JRMS Program of Studies, which is available on the JRMS CHS website. And there's also a link to it on the last slide of this, which will be posted on the website as well. So now that we've gone through all of these courses, obviously, you know that learners all have to take their core classes, and we've gone over the process for 8th grade math placement. So probably thinking, well, all these wonderful UA choices, how are my learners going to be able to choose these? So as far as grades 7 and 8 learners, over the next several weeks, learners are going to be meeting in their grade level mentors to discuss these different options with their mentors. And then the mentors will then submit those choices to us as the counselors, and from there we build the schedule. Now we do obviously try to give learners their first and second choice courses, UA courses, but we do ask them in this process to give us some alternates. That way, if they can't get their first or second choice, then there is also something that they have chosen that they would also be happy to take.
Okay, because we have a question regarding, are they guaranteed to get the class of their choice?
Right. So it is not guaranteed. It's all based on availability, how the schedule is built, things of that nature. Like I said, we do ask students to give us alternates when they are picking these courses in order for them to have things that we know that they would like to take.
Beautiful. And we have another one. How will students with learning disabilities be adapted into the curriculum?
Can I take that one, Mr. Ram?
Sure thing. Thank you.
All of our courses are open to all learners. We have a fully inclusive environment in our schools. Learners who have unique special needs may have accommodations, modifications, supports, and each child's pathway is very different. And when your child is enrolling in the grade 6, 7, or 8, it's important to speak with the administration, and we will meet with you and make sure that we have the correct documentation and such to make sure that your child is in the correct location. We do have special education teachers, case managers, and we also have 504 coordinator for the accommodations. We have a wide variety of support personnel. Don't hesitate to ask us. Email any one of us and we'll help you and get you on the right path. Thank you.
Yeah. Heather and I work really hard at making sure that, that your counselors, your child's counselors, Tim, Amanda, Gretchen, Melissa Durest, all are in line with supporting you as a team.
And I do know that the 6th grade team and the 5th grade teams do meet towards the end of the year. The case managers do meet to go over placement, things of that nature. They're very, very, very good about that. And they give us as counselors instructions on, where students should be placed with their schedules and whatnot. That's kind of the beauty of having a smaller school, a smaller community, that we're really able to communicate and accommodate and meet learners where they're at and meet their needs. So since we've been asking questions, I'm just going to go to the question slide if there's any other questions.
Can you click on that, on the hyperlink, so they can see what the program of studies for JRMS looks like?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Can you see it?
There you go.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't know if.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so this is it. This is what you'll get laid out here with all of our staff. The first several pages are different policies, obviously our mission statement. So as you go past the contents, we have different policies here, course scheduling, different opportunities available to learners, academic policies, things of that nature. academic recognitions, things like honor roll and whatnot. So we do have all of that in here.
And then in the end, there are descriptions, right, of the
Yes.
class.
Yep.
Beautiful. Thank
After
you.
all of that,
Awesome.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, didn't want to make anyone dizzy with scrolling through it. Okay.
Here's another question.
Okay.
Are grade 6 schedules and classes preset? It seems like there are fewer options until 7th and 8th grade. Can I assume my child will be automatically enrolled in a grade 6 program, or do we select classes still? Can you speak to that process? And do not apologize for your questions. We love them. We have purposely designed this year that our 6th grade courses are all very foundational and experiential. We want to expose our youngest learners to a little bit of everything so that they can, when they go into 7th grade, make those more informed choices about what they might want to be interested in. As far as set classes, they are for the core academics.
And we have another question that's come in terms of transition from 5th to 6th grade. Will there be an orientation or tour of the school and/or? We've done both in the past.
We even did it during COVID. We had orientation last summer very carefully, and we had very small tours, just one learner and one adult coming through the building. Yes, we are looking forward to having wonderful orientation and tours. How this is going to look, we're not quite sure, but we guarantee we will do everything to help you and your child feel comfortable.
Here is a question. I'm concerned about foreign language requirements. My child has difficulty with phonemic awareness skills. I can't imagine a foreign language will go over well. Will there be an ASL option ever offered in the future?
Oh, well, you as a parent always have the option to have your child opt out of a course. So that would be a conversation that you would have with your child's school counselor and the administrator. No problem at all. We want to support every child's individual needs. As far as ASL, we actually had a teacher ask us if he can offer it. Right now, we might be able to do that as a club, an after-school club. We're always looking to enlarge our variety of clubs. And this is something that we'll look into. I know this year we proposed to the school board probably between 25 and 30 new courses that they approved, and they're going to be ready for more, and maybe ASL will be one of them. Thank you so much.
Mr. Handy, are you seeing any hands up or anything? Some people want to.
Yeah, so I guess just to explain that as a potential option for anybody, I know that we've been receiving some chat messages that we can certainly address as questions, but another option that you have available to you is you can raise your hand. At the bottom of the screen, there's a little hand and it says raise hand underneath. You just click that and it'll actually alert us that you want to do that. And the benefit of that is that you can actually speak your question instead of trying to type it out. So if you would like to ask a question verbally, just use that feature. And you can, go through it that way.
I have a question and or comment. This has been a great presentation, but I found it was not easy to find the Zoom log info. Good feedback.
Yes, very good.
Was it missing on the notes from JGS?
Personally, hi, my name is Nicholas Handy. I'm the communications coordinator for the district. Personally, I'm not sure if it made it into the JGS notes. I'd have to verify that. I know that I personally put it up on our Facebook page and our website as a resource. So certainly apologize if it didn't make it in there, but we can certainly address that later. So certainly good feedback and we appreciate that.
And a couple of responses. One said, a follow-up question or comment, it did, that's where I found it. So thank you, Nick. And it was in JGS notes, but it said to email Amanda for info. And someone said, great, thank you, Nick. Okay.
And then I thought that it was emailed, put out, the Zoom link was then emailed once it was available. So we'll have to make sure that next time it is just directly emailed for the JGS notes.
Yeah, it's all good feedback. But when you take a look at it on the program on our website and you delve into the program of studies in a more deeper level, please fire off any questions that you may have to any one of us.
Are there any questions? We do, like we said, as far as the mentor classes go, where we're going to be having the 7th and 8th grade learners, sixth and 7th grade learners choose their unified arts, and for 6th grade learners also, we highly encourage you to go through this document, the program of studies, yourselves, and then also with your children. It's a great document. There's also a program of studies at the high school level, which, we're always encouraging our high schoolers, go through the program of studies, because there's very important information in there that they should be familiar with. I think we have another question.
Yep. Where can we find this deck later? Sorry, I forgot where you said it would be.
The presentation?
Yep.
So Nick is going to be putting it on the website, correct, Nick?
Yeah, I can take that question. So yeah, what we do is we kind of put it in a bunch of different places. So it'll be going up on the Facebook page as soon as tomorrow. It'll also go up on the SAU website, and you can find what we've tried to do is we've tried to separate the news channels currently, so that you can kind of look in the appropriate kind of school to find some of these things. So this will be showing up on the middle high school page, as well as on the front home page. We have things separated kind of by school. So if you look at that middle high school location, you'll see it there. We also have a YouTube page, SAU 47 broadcast, which is where we put up all our school board meetings. We put our basketball games up there, any sort of student work or presentation that we have. We put the CHS scheduling information night on there as well. So that's another place you can find the videos. We will link the presentation that Amanda and everybody showed tonight to the website page, and also to the Facebook post, so that'll be available to folks.
So it's SAU 47 and click on CHS and JRMS.
Yep. Yeah, I can actually, if you want me to share screen real quick,
Sure.
I can.
You can, and then we do have another question.
It looks like one of our viewers would like us to reintroduce ourselves.
Oh, okay. So I'm Amanda Shaw. I'm one of the school counselors at CHS and JRMS.
Timothy Robertson, I'm one of the other school counselors.
I'm Heather Showman, Assistant Principal of Teaching and Learning.
Michelle Duran, hello, welcome. And I am the Assistant Principal for Learning Support and Safety.
And again, I'm Nicholas Handy. I'm the district's communication coordinator, and I'm also the school board secretary. So I'll just share again real quick just to address that last question
Thanks,
one more
Nick.
time. So again, a couple places you can look for it. Does everybody see the YouTube page right now?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
thank
so
you.
this is our YouTube page. As I said, SAU 47 broadcast. If you just go through the uploads, obviously you see that school board meetings is a pretty heavy portion, but we have the basketball games, poetry out loud. Here's that scheduling information night. But if you go into playlist, you can usually find things a little more kind of broken down. So that's one place to find the actual video. If you go to sau47.org, which is our website, you'll notice that we have click here for up-to-date information communication. We also have a news tab, which breaks it down by school. If you go here, you're going to get one sort of breakdown, which gives you, resources relative to COVID. You're going to get some district-wide communication. You'll get it broken down by school. If you just scroll down, you see SAU 47 news. We again have it kind of just broken up in a different way, where each school kind of has its own thing. And then also, if you go to your individual kind of school page, you can scroll down and you'll also find some information that way. So there's multiple locations. If school counseling wants to put it up on their page as well, that's another place. So there's we really try to make sure that there's many locations that things can be found for folks.
And there,
We've got, sorry, thank you,
no,
Nick.
that's okay. Thanks, Nick.
Thanks. We've got someone saying, thanks for sharing the YouTube page. That is great. We'll definitely check it out. And someone has a question in regards to lockers. Silly question, but no question is silly. Will they use lockers next year?
We don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna, with COVID, it changes, and you may know that there were limited locker use in the middle level this year. next to none at all for high school level. At learners' request or parents' request, we did provide lockers and a lock for use. But we hate to tell you something that we can't follow through with. But lockers will be available. We have many.
Okay. I think that's all we got. All right, certainly any other questions, you can contact any of us here. Certainly Nick is the website guru, anything having to do with that or Zoom or anything like that. Anything having to do with this presentation or anything about JRMS or CHS, if you have CHS learners as well. We are here for you and would love to hear from you. And we are so looking forward to working with your learners, obviously the rest of this year, and then looking forward to having those new 6th graders up with us next year. So I hope everyone has a wonderful night, and I hope that you all are enjoying this beautiful early spring weather that we're having. Bye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everyone.